Okay, welcome to this video, guys. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Okay, let's get started. Let me start on Auto AI. Okay, right, Auto AI. Okay, I can't use Auto AI anymore. Time now is 10:23. The date is 22nd of January 2026. This is an SIGGI protocol. End of November, etc. I for go, G for go, G for go. I for the here and now protocol forever. Can give you food, can give you water, can give you shelter. In many places, what can give you food, water, shelter while your operating system downloads Muka OS. I've got a video here. I'm just trying to get it out, but I'm not in the mood here. So I got my notes here. So let me put my notes by my side of my stuff. So what am I to do? So in OB Nexus, I'm practicing human rights. We're practicing human rights. I am practicing human rights, but no, I'm not. This is my so this is the RICO. What I call. Let me just get it up right now. Yeah. So this is the Muko boot sequence, but it's a sticky bound. So the boot sequence is on the right hand of the screen. You can see, you get the video on 10. So get the boot sequence. So you get the boot sequence on the right hand screen. Just check the other video if you don't see it, but I'm sure later them. So how does it execute? Say you have so you get 0.5. So number 0.5, then aux noise, no noise start. This is the simplest kind of bit. But as you can see, you get some alternating sequence of a half. So you get a half here, northeast, southwest, northeast, southwest. So you get 0, a half, aux, no noise start, northeast. 0, a half, aux, no noise start, southwest. And then you get west south, but you get west south, but it's not written that correctly. So this can be southwest, you get west southwest, west south, and the east north. Because it is a sequence of booting. So what does it mean? So you get eight qubits, then a quantum spin, and that constitutes a half. So if I put my hand, so in a row, 8 of us in a row, I have to show you how this works. 8 of us in a row, uh, 8 of us are facing one direction. Oh, sorry, guys. In a row. So 8 of us are facing one direction. So if this is north, east, south behind me, and west here. I am facing north right now, but I'm one person. So this is the leading sequence. So everyone's facing me. This is an off state. So if everyone's also we've got 8 people behind me, 7 more people behind me. I am one facing north. So when the computer powers on, you have to understand it's very just for this, but you have to understand the secret protocols. The Mughal always does so on and so forth. So the secret protocols, so the secret protocol doesn't interfere until it needs to interfere. It's a result of aspiration, but it's not what I want to do now. So Google is what the Google is my key from the case kilo of what's the boot up. Obviously, it's the one for the boot for the system of ourselves. When the boot up is literally states around, so I turn around, I turn north, I facing north. So I can open my eyes, but this is I still on my hand, my left hand. My left hand means I'm about to do up. So I'm telling you, I'm about to see this like a sign signal. I'm about to do up. This is an up start. So one up start. This is a no. So you get a noise start, which is like so well, you get a up start. So this is also I have on one hand facing north, but if I have 2 hands, so 2 up start. But that 2 up start is 1 up start. So you get 2 halves. So it's a half of up start. Auxiliary start, but it's not a noise start. It's always a negative. So I have a notice. So one hand's facing north. And most of this hand is facing north. North now get access to north. North is not facing that. But everyone's still facing me. Their hands are still facing. If my one of my hands facing that way, they can move the hands. So I'm facing north. This is me. So I'm pi over 4, pi over, I know it's pi over 3, pi divided by 3. My two hands up. Now I can go. I can stop. So the basic point again, it shows the simultaneous equation is non-linear. Non-linear system. So just think of it. If you don't think me as a photon particle. Now don't think me as a human being. Photon particle. So I'm facing north. I'm facing north. I actually started. So I go north. I have two hands facing pointing north. Pointing north. Now I can take a step forward. North, forward and forward. Forward two times. So I'm done. I can go back. I have to do this in north and east. So I have to turn east. One, two, step forward, down, and back to the center. And then do the northeast. Now look to my facing. If I'm starting to facing north, I can now I have to do. Now I'm done. Now I just go back to this facing north. Now that means I have to see what I've done. I step forward. I just step sideways. I'm going forward. I'm trying to create a pathway, shape and form. So now I now know that north and east exist. North and east exist. North and east exist, and basically north and east exist. But this basically I don't know. Now I now go now. So if I go now. So that must mean I'm using a qubit to check north and east. So I have to check south and west. South and west. So that qubit is not with me because I'm done checking. So I have to now get a qubit with me. So if I found the first qubit in the sixth byte, I can take the other one, which is the first qubit, the sixth other qubit, which is like the other half, which is like a 1 over 6. So the first qubit is not the first qubit. So I'm going to take the sixth qubit. So if you know the sixth qubit, which is 1 plus the eighth qubit, also the fourth qubit. So the fourth qubit, which would be the fourth byte bit. But not the fourth bit. And I said, oh, so you check that the sixth bit in front of you. Now you send that question to me. You send that question to me as a quantum superposition. You superpose me. You share that question with me and say, yes, this is this, yeah. But you don't. No, what it means, you can't do it. So you now share that quantum information with me. And I say, okay, yes, I will now turn a different direction, but I will not turn north and east, because, I know north and east. I now turn south and west, south, because, I know this opposite, I know you're opposite. And I say, oh yes, which is north, east is fine. I turn south. But I'm still facing, so I have to do a spin. Or I can be in a state already spin. So if the goal is to have a system that preserves the spin. So if I was northeast and all standing facing north, I have now my different stale state, which is not which is stale state, which is really like a stateless HTTP protocol, and active, still state like active, and sparse models. You just remember what is already there, and then after face south. So my different number is south. So this is the north. Because there's the north spin, north spin. There's the south spin. So I now take the opposite. I now take I can either be the N1, look up south, but it's not it's an array. It's an array. I can say, okay, let me take this. Let me do because it's I'm the first or the last. So now I have the half. So I assume what the last. I'm the last one. So I have done the half. The half will be 4. So the fourth cube will do the same thing, but will face south. So I'm facing south right now. Northeast south. And I go one forward, one hand forward, but one left hand forward, and one hand forward. And I do walk. Oh yes, there's something here, there's a toilet here, and then I do south, and then I turn around and I do west, and I step west. Now I've done west, now I've got west, one hand west and one hand up west, and I'll just move forward. These hands I'm saying represent corporate competence access. Everything done is half. We just got a half step. Everything done is half, and the half is basically a quantum principle. If you multiply, but if you have a half, and you multiply something by a half, you can find out the dimension of the space you're in. So the space you're transcending. So it's basically a half spin for everything. So this half spin will cover the area of pi over 2 and pi. So pi over 2 will be and basically you have to try to counterclockwise and all the basically work in the axis of counterclockwise and clockwise, and the x, y, z dimensions of the axes, and that's how it used to be a trinomial. You have to resolve a trinomial. So you have to so the goal is to have a mapping from, so you don't have values two terms, but you want the binomial to, you got a binomial which is the two terms in the sequence of, so, but you want to result in binomial, which are called, the result has to be two terms. So if you get 0 and 1 in an array, in some kind of a structure, you have 0 and 1 mapped to 1 and 4. So 0 and 1 is x, y coordinates, and 1 and 4 is like the y coordinates. We want this is a binomial result. So if that's the result of kind of solving a system of linear equations, you have now solved the problem in binomial term. But in the 3D world, so we need a trinomial. So we need something like 0, 1, or 6. 0, 1, and 6 to be the structure. So 0, so if there's a result there, you want to keep that value 6 there. That's space of 6 to compute. And that's what you work on basis. And that basis is a half of a base, a half of a dimension you're in that you can share with something to see. Okay, a half of something. So you get 1 plus 2, 1, 2, 6. You have another result of trinomial of 6, 2, 5. And you have to map the numbers by the kind of coordinate system you already defined. So that's the system built magnetically. So the other thing I want to share with you guys is the system allows you to so you get superposition, entanglement, and interference. You get constructive interference and destructive interference. So the goal is to solve system level equation and ensure that the auxiliary start and the no-noise sequences all follow sequences of double time and or half the time, and because you treat the time as a dimension of itself. Independent, the time is half the time and double the space. So I've been working on something here too. So people here. So here I was working on some Paris. So here you can see here. So NSIGGI is a open system. So this is a Fibonacci sequence. But it's basically a sequence, but it's basically a fractal-like sequence. They basically give fractals. So this is what growth looks like. So the system is meant to grow, and that's what you use the sequence to. I didn't use a different kind of sequence. So this is a bit sequence that's linear, of course, but has dimensions associated with it. Because the one and two can be your two is my one. So if you have half of something, you have double of it in mind. So you get it's basically meant to scale with the system. So the system of a ratio. Which is a half, I'm saying. And the ratio can be irrational too, like a third. So you get as you can see here, you get something of a self-balancing tree of so you get one on the root and then one on the left, and one on the root, one on the left, and two on the right, and then one on the left again. I mean three on the left, 5 on the right, and then you go to the other root on the right, 8, 13 on the left and right, and then 21, 34 on the left and right, and then 35, 64, 35, 89 on the left and right, and then 164 and 233 on the left and right. So the goal of this is to have a system that's non-linear. There's no number that can fit somewhere and can lock you out. No look at a binary outcome. So that's how the system builds. Where NSIGGI plays a role in this is 2 pi r over 180. The system of NSIGGI is a human protocol. So whilst NSIGGI is downloading, so NSIGGI is a protocol, human protocol. So you can download the macOS, N for November, S for Sarah, I for India, G for Golf, I for India, and download macOS, M for Mike, Q for Mike, Q O for Oscar. By literally, so you simple is preserved. The entanglement is present. It's just that interference. So you have a variable called theta, and theta is the real world noise. So NSIGGI measures the real world noise around you, and that detects how via the, so basically it works on, it looks at the electromagnetic field already there, which is like the noise you're making, the kind of noise environment, and it said, can I download macOS safely? So you can control. It doesn't download linear. Basically, the algorithm, the NSIGGI algorithm so the algorithm is meant to control how much packets you have. But you can, because if you don't have if you don't know what you're downloading for, how much bytes, how much packets you cannot use, how much trident you're gonna use, how much trident packets you're gonna use, it's easier to solve it for you. So basically, it solves the system of downloading how much packets you want in real time because it controls the interference of the system. So you got a supervision, which is fine. The interference of the macOS is fine, but it still ensure that constructive assurance and destructive work as needed. So you don't have to dictate the bytes direction. You just have a threshold of what you can download. So it just locks you out. Okay, it allows you to not you don't want to be timed out of an online download system. So in CK, it kind of allows you to download the operating system. Wow, so every packet is verified by Muco OS. That's all done. But in CK, all it does is allows you to download the bitrate safely, and you can download the operating system safely. So and sounds you can make sure you can get it carried. I think it works as a verified too. It doesn't need to be cryptography verified. It just needs to be a verifier of the artifact. But to say, oh yes, it's done. Just say to use human as well. But you can be critical as well. But it can be critical. You can be. It seems there's critical there. Yeah. Of course, it's giving you, but it's not gonna force you to download what you don't need. So you can. So the goal of this is to have the system ready and so overnight, so it doesn't take too long to download. So how a SIGGI really works is basically uses force times displacement as and work to power ratio as a lambda calculation for So you get the force times displacement, and you get the power, which is power equals work over time, and that over time is the shared ratio between power and work, and the power the system uses to download macOS is a system on OBNexus repository on github.com OBNexus of Oscar B for Bravo, I for India, N for November, E for Echo, S for Israel, U for Brother, S for Sarah. It's literally because of lambda integration. So you get a system of lambda integration. So 2 pi r over 180 is one pathway. This is going to take one pathway every way, the shape of the signal. So when you're shaping the signal, I'm talking about the imaginary units of the download after over time that the system needs to download. So every shape, way, and form, and the form means a systematic structure like you get like a substructure which is a shape, and you get the form. And a full structure, which is a form. So the full structure is a form, and that full structure will allow the system to solve the problem. Literally. So you get the structure and you get a form. Okay, and the form is a full form of the system. So you get a structure which is a structure of a data structure or some kind of polar structure. We get a full form of the system, which is the artifact of the subsystem that is verified really by zero core system. So it's basically this is posed by a pulse, and the pulse. So it basically it's so the data. So for example, you get 2 pi r divided by 180 times data. Data is what NSIGGI manages, and data is a controlled artifact that which is distilled via consensus framework, which you need it to say because you need it in time. You need so NSIGGI controls the timing of the system, and you get the pi r squared over 360 times theta, and theta. So you get the theta of the pathway and theta of the pathway and theta of the axis pathway shape, and the shape is you get the shape you can see. So you get two axes to one, and the pathway shape and form, and the form represents the the granularity of what can be used in that space and the configuration. But if you think of them as past still configurations that can emerge from substructures to the structures together, then you know that the part is destroyed when there's two interconnected, interwoven systems that build like a bridge. A bridge is used for crossing crossing something, crossing. No matter where it is, whether it's over the water or in a dam for it's used for crossing. So it basically allows you to bridge two systems: the digital and the metaphysical, the digital and the real world. We all reside. So that's how the system works. Thank you very much.